Good evening, guys. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody had a good day. I know I did. Had a really good day. Been busy the last couple days. Obviously, I haven't haven't done a stream in the last couple days. I've been super busy with work. Um, Talk about a blessing, man. A super blessing. Really enjoying the new job, participating in my recovery daily. I had taken some pictures the other day and had posted them, and I was going to bring them up because I came across the reading today that I wanted to share and kind of talk about, and it really related to the post that I had put up all over the place the other day. Um, and it was a reminder, man. I'm going to bring this first one up here real quick. Welcome everybody that's coming in. Let's see. Here's the post that I put up the other day. It says, grateful to be on the other side of the fence today, being a service, yet remaining humbled, never forgetting my roots and lived experience daily as I pull into work. You know, I have these, I have these daily reminders. Sorry for all the pop-ups because I'm on my Facebook page. I have all these reminders pulling into work, and it's a really humbling experience, guys. It really is. It says, this is my daily reminder, getting to see myself and others, yet being so grateful. I see Phil hearting me. I can't see you yet, but welcome, guys. It's so gratifying to be of service and to be able to give back today. You know, I said, stay humble, stay grateful, participate in your recovery, and be of service daily. I don't know how many times you guys have heard me stress this. I stress it all the time. Inspire, be that hope shot for somebody else, somebody that's suffering, somebody that needs to hear the message today. And here's the pictures, man. I don't ever want to go back to that, yet I see it every day. That's why it's so humbling. Seeing that razor wire, seeing guys playing hoops on the courts, the entrance. How many of you guys have been shackled up, been boxed up in a truck before, on your way to the joint, can't move, got that chain between your legs and your ankles? I've been there. I've been boxed up, and it's a reminder because that's exactly what it looks like pulling in. Exactly what it looks like, man. And I mean, that's it. This is literally right next to where I work at. So I get that humbling experience daily. Man, it's a reminder of where I came from and where I'm at today and how far I've came in my recovery. And that's why I always share about participating in your recovery and the gratitude in the day. I know my guy Phil talked about gratitude today on his live stream, his thankful Thursdays and gratitude. We all stream about this all the time because it's that important. To always remember where you came from, to remember your roots. Welcome, Patty. I hope you're feeling better. Reach out to us later after the stream if you want. Let me know how you're doing. This brings up the reading that I was coming across about your roots and your footing and building that foundation. This is a really, really cool reading, guys. Let me bring this one up. Sorry, I'm belching up cheese sticks still. Yeah, I'm eating fried food again, guys. And Patty, don't say it because I know you're going to say something about the weight in the food because you messaged me at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and I got it and I ignored it because I don't want to talk about it. But anyway, let me bring this up. I know you're laughing. Hopefully I'm putting a smile on your face. The thought of the day is what I'm bringing up. And this is off of Betty Ford's site. I go to this site a lot, guys. If you haven't been on her site, check it out. It's a Hazleton Betty Ford Clinic. I got a lot of cool things on here every day. And their language of letting go is meditation today was talking about laying that foundation. The groundwork has been laid. Do you not see that, guys? It says, don't you understand that all that all you guys have gone through was for a purpose. It was for a reason, that we're still here, that I'm doing this live stream for a reason, that you're listening to this live stream for a reason, that it was all for a reason and there was a purpose behind it all. You know, there was a reason, a good reason for the waiting, the struggle, the pain that we've all gone through and are still going through today. And finally, the release says, you have been prepared the same way a builder must first tear down and dig out the old to make way for the new. You know, your higher power has been cleaning out the foundation in your life, been cleaning up that mess, clearing out a new path. You know, this really hit me hard. When you've ever watched a builder at construction, when he begins his work, it looks worse before he began. It says, what is old and decayed must be removed. What was insufficient or weak or too weak to support the new structure must be removed, replaced, or reinforced. No builder who cares about his work would put in a new surface over an insufficient support system. You know, the foundation would give way, would not last. You know, and I relate that to me always saying that, you know, one of the most important, if not the most important tool in my recovery toolbox is the group, you know, is the rooms, is the program that I work, in the like-minded people that surround me daily. In the finished product, it is, it is what to be desired. The work must be done thoroughly from the bottom up. As the work progresses, it often appears to be an upheaval. Often, it does not seem to make sense. It may appear to be wasted time and effort because we cannot see the final product yet. Slow down and trust the process. You know, I have control struggles, and I want when I want it, right? Because I'm an addict. I want things to come together right now. And that sentence right there, you know, it doesn't make sense. I can remember coming into recovery, going into treatment. Nothing made sense. You know, I just wanted to snap my fingers and poof, I was healed. It's just not the case. But it is so important that with the foundation be laid properly, if the fun work, the finishing touches, is to be all that we want it to be. It says, this long, hard time in your life has been for laying the groundwork, putting in the work, applying yourself. It was not without purpose, although at times the purpose may not have been evident or apparent. That's that whole trust and faith in a higher power, something greater than myself. That's what that reminds me of, that sentence. It's not evident, it's not apparent, but I know if I stay vigilant in my recovery daily and I put in the work, the things are going to come together when they're meant to, how they're meant to, and when they're meant to. It says now it is time for the finishing touches, the completion. It is time to move the furniture in and enjoy the fruits of our labor, the gifts of recovery, guys, daily, the gratitude of recovery, giving thanks, giving back, being of service. Congratulations. You have had the patience to endure the hard parts. You have trusted, you've surrendered, and you've allowed your higher power and the universe to heal and prepare you for better things to come. Trust me. Now you shall enjoy the good that has been planned. Now you shall see the purpose. Now you shall come together, and this would all make sense. Enjoy. It says today I will surrender to laying the foundation, the groundwork in my life. It is time to enjoy the placement of the finishing touches. I will surrender to that and enjoy it. I will remember to be grateful for a higher power that is a master builder and only has my best interests in mind, creating and constructing my life. That's that whole faith and trust in the process and guidance. I will be grateful for my higher power's care and attention to details in laying the foundation. Even though I become impatient at times, and believe me, guys, I do, almost daily, I will stand in awe of the beauty of God's finished product or your higher power's finished product. Having faith and trust in the process and something greater than myself um, has been a true blessing. Um, when I ran on self will, I would get myself in trouble 10 times out of 10, and I would break out in handcuffs and I would go back to those institutions that I just showed you. I would do that every time. Um, I would go back to this place right here. I'm going to bring it up again. I would go right back here. That's where I would be at every single time. And I just don't want to go back to that. It's miserable. I got to, I know it didn't bring it up. That's why I'm going to bring it up again. That's what happens when I get wound up and I start clicking buttons that ain't sharing. I go back there. I don't want to go back there, guys. And if anybody has experienced that, hopefully you don't want to go back there either, because that's what happens when I run on self will. When I try to control things, I break out in handcuffs, and that's where I end up at. It's just so important to have trust and faith in that process and just turn it over to something greater than ourselves, even though it's not evident. We don't know what lies ahead. I worry, the woulda, coulda, shoulda, and letting go and letting my higher power guide me was not easy for me. And, it was just funny that I come across that reading today. It's a powerful reading. The blessings and the fruit of recovery keep presenting themselves daily, day in and day out, by just simply surrendering and doing the next right thing. And just doing that day in and day out, no matter what my struggle is for the day. I wake up in pain every day. My knee hurts every day. I have rheumatoid arthritis now at 45 years old. But I keep it pushing. It's not easy. Some days are easier than others. I struggle. Doing this without the narcotics that I was so used to putting on everything to ease the pain. I've found a manageable remedy with anti-inflammatories and Tylenol that work. There's other alternatives out there. I have to have trust in the doctors and the professionals out there that can help me get through these things without me picking back up, and staying vigilant in my recovery and doing the next right thing. Welcome, Marty. Welcome everybody else that's in here. I know I missed a lot of your guys' comments, and I apologize. It's when I screen share, I can't see all the comments because it blanks my screen out. But welcome everybody for coming in. I just wanted to jump on and say good evening to everybody because I haven't been on here in a couple days because I've been super busy at work and I'm still trying to find that happy balance between work and my personal recovery. I had an event to go to last night that was here in Dayton. It was a really awesome event put on by the FOA and a local organization, Sober Gang, here in Dayton, Ohio. And it was awesome. They had a candlelight vigil for those that passed away, in memory. I can safely say in the last 3 days at work, I have witnessed personally 3 overdoses myself at work. It's sad, guys. This is real. This happens daily. It's happening right now as you're listening to me talk. Surrender, guys. Reach out if you're struggling and ask for help. This is some serious crap. And people are dropping like flies, people that we love and care about daily. And it's heartbreaking to see this daily because I want to help everybody, and I know I can't. I can only be there for the ones that I'm there for. If you guys are going out tomorrow, New Year's Eve, be careful, stay safe, have something put in place, go out with some people in recovery. There's going to be all kinds of sober and clean events going on. I know a lot of local organizations in many cities are going to have sober events going on. There's many going on here in Dayton. There's going to be all kinds of cool stuff going on that you can have good, clean, safe fun and go with people that love and care about you, and have an exit strategy. If you're put in that awkward, uncomfortable, situation where, you may not feel comfortable, or you may run into someone that you don't want to run into. Because it happens, guys. Life's going to show up and you got to be prepared. That unexpected moment is going to happen. Trust me, it's happened to me. And you have to know how to say no and remove yourself from those situations. You can't, you got to keep yourself number one. You got to really keep yourself number one and set that healthy boundary. It's okay to say no. And it's okay if people get upset with you, or get mad at you because you removed yourself from a situation you weren't comfortable in. Doesn't matter what they think. It's what you think. That's what matters, guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys hopping on. I appreciate y'all listening. Hope everybody has a safe holiday. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will catch you guys later. I love you guys. Patty, reach out to us. Let us know how you're doing. I'm worried about you. I love you guys. We'll talk to you later.